Have you noticed it? That subtle change that creeps in without warning. One day, you're lifting a bucket of water or rising from your favorite chair like it's nothing, and then suddenly, it feels like your legs are made of jelly, or your arms tremble under the weight of a grocery bag. It doesn't hit all at once. It's quiet. Slow. Almost invisible. You tell yourself it's just old age. But deep down, something feels off. And it's not just you. Maybe you've seen it in someone close to you, a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor you care about. They used to move with energy, now they shuffle across the room. They used to lift, twist, stand tall, now, even reaching for a cup on the shelf takes effort. You wonder. Is this just what happens when we get older? Is this what we have to accept? What if I told you, it's not? What if I told you, your muscles might be disappearing quietly, day by day, not just because of age, but because two vital foods have quietly slipped out of your diet? Yes. Just two foods. That's it. Not pills. Not surgery. Just two simple, powerful foods, missing from your plate, stealing your strength more than time ever could. And the scariest part? Most people never notice, until it's too late. Until the fall happens. Until the walker becomes necessary. Until someone whispers, maybe we should get a caregiver, but here's the truth no one is telling you, this isn't an inevitable part of aging. This is preventable. And reversible. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to protect your muscle strength using just two natural, affordable foods that most seniors forget to include. And I'll show you the subtle signs that your body is already warning you, even if you haven't been listening. So, take a deep breath. Pull up a chair. And listen closely. Because this just might be the most important video you watch for your health, or the health of someone you deeply love. Drop a quick "I'm here" in the comments if you're ready to learn how to take back your strength. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our community here on Elder Mature Moments, where we age with purpose, peace, and power. Let's dive in. Let's start with something that hits close to home. Strength. Not just the kind you use to lift heavy objects, but the kind that lets you live. Picture this. Mr. Johnson, 76 years old. A strong man, once the rock of his family. He built his house with his bare hands. He used to toss his grandchildren in the air and catch them like feathers. But recently, something changed. His grandson ran up to him, arms wide open. "Grandpa, carry me." Mr. Johnson bent down, and froze. His arms shook. His back protested. He tried to lift him, but the strength just wasn't there. Not because he was sick. Not because he fell. But because his muscles had quietly faded. His arms felt hollow. And in that moment, he realized something painful. He couldn't do what once brought him joy. Now pause and ask yourself, have you seen this in someone you love? Or maybe, just maybe, have you felt it? That moment when the bag feels heavier. When standing up takes a second try. When opening a bottle feels like wrestling with a lock. This isn't just aging. This is sudden muscle weakness, and it's often the first quiet alarm your body rings. But here's the good news, there's a reason for it. And more importantly, there's a solution. As we get older, our muscles become like fragile threads, easily torn, slow to repair. Why? Because they're starving for something vital, protein. You see, protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It's for every cell in your body. It repairs. It rebuilds. It keeps you upright when you walk, sit, and stretch. But here's the catch. Even if you think you're eating enough protein, your aging body might not be absorbing it like it used to. And without regular, high-quality sources, your muscles shrink. Your strength drops. And your independence starts slipping away. Now, many seniors shrug it off. They say, it's just part of getting older. But let me tell you something powerful, it doesn't have to be. You don't need fancy powders. You don't need expensive diets. You just need real food. Start simple. A boiled egg in the morning. A serving of sardines with lunch. 2 of nature's most complete proteins, rich in amino acids, vitamin D, and omega-3s. They're easy to chew. Affordable. And most importantly, they feed your muscles like nothing else. Don't wait until your arms can't hold a hug. Or your legs can't support a stroll. Start today. 1 bite at a time. But muscle strength isn't only about what you're missing. It's also about what you're overdoing. And for many of us, the next silent strength thief hides in something we all love, something sweet, comforting, and quietly destructive. Let's talk about it next. Let me tell you about Mama Eno. She's 72, full of wisdom, and always the first to greet her neighbors with a warm smile. Every morning, like clockwork, she brews her favorite tea, rich, aromatic, just the way she likes it. And of course, she adds her usual 3 spoons of sugar. Not 1. Not 2. 3. It gives me energy, she always says with a chuckle. But lately, something's changed. By 10 a.m., she's on the couch. The woman who once walked around the compound every day now says, "I'll rest a little longer." Her legs feel heavy. Her eyes droop early. She skips her walk. She blames her age. But the truth? It's not her age. It's that quiet spoonful of sweetness, served every morning, and sometimes again in the afternoon. You see, while sugar may give you a quick lift, it's followed by a crash. A hard one. Excess sugar causes insulin spikes. Those sudden highs confuse your body. Then come the lows, where your energy drops, your mood sours, and your muscles begin to suffer. Behind the scenes, sugar fuels inflammation. It wears down the very muscles you rely on to stand, move, and feel strong. And worse? It pushes out the nutrients your muscles actually need. Instead of feeding your body, sugar starts draining it. And slowly, quietly, strength fades. Now here's the twist, we often think, it's just a small treat. A cookie here. A cube of sugar there. A soda on a sunny day. But when those little treats become daily habits, especially in our later years, they chip away at our stamina, our strength, and eventually, our independence. And we don't even notice. Until the fatigue sets in. Until we stop walking. Until we say, "I'm just too tired." But here's where we can turn the story around. You don't need to cut out sweetness completely. You just need to swap it for something that fuels you, not flattens you. Instead of that mid-morning sugar rush, try a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt, rich in protein, smooth in taste, and easy on the stomach. Top it with a few berries or crushed nuts if you like. Or, spread a thin layer of nut butter, like peanut or almond, on toast or crackers. That mix of healthy fats and protein gives your muscles what they need to push through the day. These small changes may not feel magical at first. But over time, they rebuild your energy, not drain it. And remember, fatigue isn't always about getting older. Sometimes, it's about what's slowly slipping into your daily habits. But you know what's even more dangerous than fatigue? It's losing your balance, literally. That unsteady feeling when you walk down the hall. That unexpected sway when you stand too quickly. It's more than just dizziness. It's a silent sign that your body is missing a nutrient you probably haven't thought about in years. Let's talk about that next, because it might just save you from a fall. You're standing at the other end of the hallway. You see your father walking toward you, slowly. One hand brushing against the wall, like he needs it to steady himself. He pauses halfway, leans for just a moment, then continues like nothing happened. You ask, "Dad, are you okay?" He smiles and says, "I'm fine, just a little tired." But here's the thing. It's not just once. It's becoming a pattern. Leaning here. Holding a chair there. Slowing down, not because he's lazy, but because something inside doesn't feel steady anymore. And while he may think it's just tiredness, or one of those days, what if it's not tiredness at all? What if it's weakness, hiding in plain sight? You see, balance isn't just about age. It's not just about slowing reflexes or blurry eyesight. Balance, real, lasting, confident balance, comes from muscle strength. Especially in the core and legs. And those muscles? They need fuel. They need vitamin D. They need calcium. Without these two key nutrients, your legs lose tone. Your spine becomes less stable. And that quiet, sneaky shift in posture begins. First, you lean. Then you wobble. And then, you fall. Now, we've been taught to believe that poor balance means it's time for a cane. Or a walker. Or worse, to stop moving altogether. But what if I told you that balance problems are often a warning sign, not a destination? A red flag from your body saying, "I need help. I need strength. I need the right food." It's easy to overlook, because we don't see calcium and vitamin D the way we see sugar or salt. They're invisible nutrients, but their effects? Loud and clear. So how do we fix this? Start with sardines, yes, those little fish in the tin. Eat them with the bones. Why? Because the bones are soft and edible, and packed with calcium. And guess what? Sardines are also full of vitamin D, one of the rare natural sources of it. A powerhouse for bones, balance, and muscle control. Not a fan of fish? Try leafy greens, like spinach, ugu, or kale. They're not only good for your digestion, they build the framework that keeps you upright. These aren't expensive or fancy solutions. They're real foods. Affordable. Accessible. And deeply nourishing. So the next time someone tells you they're just tired, when they lean on the wall, or when you find yourself gripping that chair a little harder than before, don't ignore it. Don't wait. Check your plate. Because balance isn't about luck. It's about preparation. It's about feeding your body the tools it needs to stand strong, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. And speaking of strength, there's one more early warning sign of muscle loss that most people miss. It doesn't start in the legs. Or in your back. It shows up somewhere surprising, in your hands. Let's talk about that next. Let me paint a picture for you. Uncle Liam, strong, steady, always the one people turned to when something needed fixing. He was the bottle opener at every family gathering. You know the one, no matter how tight the cap, one twist from him and pop, done. But now? You hand him a jar, and he hesitates. His fingers press around the lid, they tremble a little. He tries again, winces. Then hands it back, half smiling, saying, "Old age catching up with me." But you can see it in his eyes. That moment of discomfort. That whisper of vulnerability. That tiny seed of doubt that says, "Why can't I do this anymore?" It's not just the hands. It's not just the fingers. It's something deeper. Because when your grip strength starts to fade, it's rarely just about jars and twist caps. It's a mirror. A reflection of something happening all through your body. You see, grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of total muscle health. Yes, your grip. That simple squeeze of your hand tells doctors more about your future strength and independence than you might ever guess. In fact, studies have shown that when grip strength declines, so does leg strength, back strength, core stability. And over time, that leads to falls, fractures, and frailty. But here's the problem, most people dismiss it. They say, it's just arthritis. It's the weather. It's because I slept funny. And sometimes, yes, it might be arthritis. But more often than not, it's a silent signal. Your body is losing the muscle it needs to support you, protect you, and carry you through the day. And the longer it goes unnoticed, the faster the decline happens. But don't worry, this isn't the end of the story. You're not powerless. You're not too late. There are simple steps you can take to rebuild that strength, starting right in your palm. Begin with something as basic as a soft rubber ball or a stress ball. Squeeze it gently, hold it, release. Just 10 reps in each hand, 2 times a day. No gym. No equipment. Just your hands and a few quiet minutes. And while you're doing that, make sure your plate is working just as hard as your hands. Add boiled eggs to your breakfast, rich in complete protein, easy to prepare, and loaded with amino acids that repair and build muscle tissue. Mix in some beans at lunch or dinner. Fiber-rich, iron-packed, and a fantastic source of plant-based protein. Together, these foods nourish your body from the inside out, giving your hands the power to grip again. Giving your arms the strength to lift again. And giving you the confidence to live fully again. Because grip strength isn't just about holding onto objects. It's about holding onto independence. Dignity. Freedom. And now that you know what to look for, you don't have to let it slip through your fingers. But we're not done yet. There's one final sign. One more early whisper from your body that most people miss, because it doesn't show up in your hands. Or even in how you move. It shows up in how your body looks. Let's talk about the silent alarm hiding in your thighs. The part of the body where muscle loss often starts, long before we even realize it. Let me share something with you. Auntie Grace, gentle, graceful, always dressed in her elegant wrappers. She's the kind of woman who never needed help tying a headscarf or lifting a basket. But one morning, while getting ready for a family event, she reached into her wardrobe. Pulled out a wrapper she hadn't worn in months. And paused. It wrapped tighter around her waist than she remembered. Not because she had gained weight, her blouse still fit. Her arms still looked the same. But her thighs felt different. Slimmer. Softer. Weaker. She hadn't even noticed. No pain. No warning. Just missing. You see, thigh muscles are often the first to go when muscle loss begins. Not the biceps. Not the chest. The thighs. And the worst part? It happens quietly. You don't feel it at first. You might even think, well, I've slimmed down a little. That's not bad. But here's the truth, it's not slimming. It's not toning. It's sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. And when it starts in your thighs, it's like the foundation of your home beginning to crumble. Because your thighs? They're your powerhouse. They lift you out of a chair. They steady your steps. They carry you up the stairs. They catch you when you slip. And when they weaken, balance goes. Speed goes. Confidence goes. And falls become more likely. Now, here's the dangerous misconception. Many people think, I'm just getting slimmer. That's good, right? Or, it's part of aging. Everyone goes through it. But it's not good. And it's not something we should accept without a fight. Because the truth is, this kind of muscle loss is preventable. And even better, it's reversible. You don't need fancy gym machines or complicated routines. You just need real nourishment. Simple, traditional foods that fuel your legs, and bring back your stride. Like millet porridge, a local treasure. Warm. comforting. Packed with complex carbohydrates, iron, and essential nutrients that give your muscles lasting energy. Or sweet potatoes, earthy, fibrous, rich in potassium and vitamins that help rebuild strength in your lower body. These aren't exotic solutions. They're foods our grandparents grew up on. They knew their value. They didn't need a nutritionist to tell them, it was wisdom passed from generation to generation. So if you've looked in the mirror recently and thought, my legs feel smaller, or you've noticed yourself avoiding stairs, or struggling to rise without using your hands, don't wait. Look at your plate. Look at your thighs. And start rebuilding, one bowl, one step, one meal at a time. Because leg strength isn't about vanity. It's about freedom. It's about preventing that one fall that changes everything. So what can we do now? Now that we've seen the signs, felt the warning bells, and learned the role that missing foods are playing in our quiet muscle decline. What happens next? Let's talk about that, because the next steps are yours to take. It's one of the hardest things to watch. Someone you love slowly growing weaker. Not from sickness. Not from injury. But from something quieter. Something you can't quite put your finger on. They move slower. They rest more. They pass on the things they used to enjoy, walking the block, carrying a grandchild, dancing to that one favorite song they always smiled to. And when you ask them what's wrong, they wave it off. It's nothing. I'm just tired. I'm not as young as I used to be. But deep down, it hurts. Because you can feel them slipping. And you're not sure what to say, or what to do. You feel helpless. And that feeling? It's heavier than anything. But here's the beautiful truth, you're not helpless. You're not standing by as time takes its toll. You're learning. You're listening. You're becoming the difference between decline and strength. Because now, you know what to look for, the wobble in the walk. The weakness in the hands. The tired legs. The shrinking thighs. The fading grip on life itself. But even more powerful, you now know where to begin. Not with pills. Not with endless hospital visits. But with food. With care. With choices that rebuild, one bite at a time. So I ask you, gently. Take just a few minutes today. Walk into your kitchen. Open your fridge. Open your pantry. Are eggs there? Are sardines sitting quietly on a shelf, unopened? If not, start small. One boiled egg a day. One tin of sardines, once or twice a week. That's it. That one step could be the thing that helps your father rise from his chair a little easier. That gives your mother the strength to take that evening stroll again. That helps you feel steady, safe, strong. And if the changes feel small at first, don't be discouraged. Because small changes are how big victories begin. You're not too old. You're not too late. And this story isn't over. Every forkful of protein, every bowl of millet, every food choice that honors your body is a quiet act of strength. Of love. Of reclaiming what aging tried to take away. So wherever you are right now, watching this alone, or with someone you care about, know this. There is hope. There is strength still left in you. There is freedom waiting. And there is joy, real joy, in knowing you have the power to nourish that strength back to life. You just have to begin. And now, you can. Let's take a quiet moment to bring everything together. You've listened. You've reflected. Now let's recap what your body might already be trying to tell you, gently, but clearly. The 5 warning signs that your muscles are disappearing are, that sudden, unexplained weakness, where even small tasks feel heavier than they should. The creeping fatigue that shows up early in the day and stays, long after you've rested. The subtle shifts in balance, where walking becomes wobbling, and standing feels unsteady. A weaker grip, that once strong handshake now softened, struggling to open jars or hold on to things. And the often overlooked sign, thinning thighs, the quiet shrinking of strength in the legs that hold you up. And the two simple, powerful foods that can help your body fight back. Eggs and sardines. Not supplements. Not injections. Just humble, everyday foods that carry the strength your muscles have been craving. So now I'll ask you. Which of these signs have you noticed? In your own body? In someone you care about? Or maybe, which food are you ready to bring back to your plate? Let's talk in the comments. Really, I read every single one. And your story? Might just help someone else realize they're not alone. And if this video gave you a moment of clarity, if it helped you see things through a new lens, then I invite you to be part of something meaningful. Subscribe to Elder Mature Moments. Here, we don't just talk about aging, we prepare for it. We learn. We support. We embrace the journey, with strength and love. Because this isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning of a stronger, more confident chapter. Thank you for spending this time with me today. You didn't just watch, you showed up for yourself, or someone you care about. That matters. So wherever you are right now, whether sitting on a couch, sipping tea, or resting after a long day, stay strong. Stay supported. And I'll see you in the next video.